Hey guys, Triple V here. It's one of my favorite times of the year. No, not just Halloween, we've got Pokemon pre-releases coming around. So with the new set, Silver Tempest, there's pre-releases starting this weekend. I actually put together a video with a couple of deck tips. So if you've never been to an event before, there should be a little pop-up on the screen right now that'll give you a bit of advice. So if you're nervous going into it, give you a bit more peace of mind and set you up to go in strong for the event. Was actually able to get a couple of extra kits though, so we're going to be doing some pack openings today on this video and show you guys a little sneak peek of the Silver Tempest set. So we do have 4 kits, you can see them in the background right now, and yeah, we're just going to crack into these, see how we go with them. There's 4 different promos, so I'm hoping maybe we get one of each. So hoping to get either the Archeops, the Rapidash, and I think Sunflora is the 4th one. I always forget what the 4th one is. Spogs are a little bit tricky to get into though, so bear with me one second. All right, we got there. Might have to go and grab like a knife or some scissors for the next ones. Make it go a little bit smoother. But yeah, so we crack into this. In these pre-release kits, you're gonna get a trainer kit. So it's got some trainers, 2 evolution lines, and a promo Pokemon. You're also gonna get 4 booster packs included in these kits, and you get to use those to put together your deck. So if you haven't been to a pre-release tournament, that's what you can look forward to getting if you do attend one tomorrow. Looks like we've got the Sunflora promo, so I was right, that is the 4th promo. See what comes in this kit. Thinking it's going to be a grass line, sets you up for the Sunflora. Sunflora does have an attack Bright Beam for 2 colorless energy, does 10 damage, and then discard up to 3 energy from your hand, and does 70 more damage for each card you discarded in that way. That's pretty cool. I'll give you guys a close-up of it in just one moment. Oh, there's our promo, Sunflora. And let's see what else we get in this kit. Some lightning energy. Because yeah, with these kits, they are making it so you get 40 cards out of the box that you can essentially just sleeve up and be ready to go. So you don't even need to worry about deck building if you've never done it before. Just go, hey, it's got some Pokemon, it's got some trainers, I'm going to sleeve these up. The energy's included, 40 cards. Sweet. You don't need to worry about mucking around with things, but with the booster packs, you can use them to top up the decks. We've also got Rotom, has the attack Overhaul. You get to shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. Really solid in pre-release. Can be a little bit slow to start sometimes, and there's not a lot of draw support, so being able to use an attack as some extra draw power is always really good. Looks like we've got 2 copies of that. A Zeraora has Battle Claw, does 30 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon's an evolution, 30 more damage. Also has Mach Bolt, which does 80 damage for 2 colorless and a lightning. Not bad numbers. Typically in pre-release, you want to be hitting 90s to 120. Got some unidentified fossils, which makes me think we're getting Archeops in here. There we go. We've got Archon and the Archeops. So it has a really cool ability in Primal Turbo. Once during your turn, you get to search your deck, grab 2 special energies, and put them onto your Pokemon in any way that you like. So can be pretty cool. Energy acceleration is definitely something that's very powerful, and in a format like pre-release, just kind of breaks it. It's pretty great, especially since we've got a 2-2-2 line of it here. Got Shauna, shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 5. Got Furry Soda Girl, so you get to search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto your bench, and if you'd like, you can switch that new bench Pokemon and put it into the active. So if you're struggling to start, you could use this, get the Rotom, bounce it from your bench into the active, attach an energy, and then draw a fresh hand of 6. It's a pretty solid combo. Got Lucky Energy, so this counts as a colorless energy. Since we've got the Archeops, you could be accelerating this out from the deck since it is a special energy. And if your Pokemon gets damaged, even if it's knocked out, you get to draw a card from it. Looks like we've got 2 copies of it, so pretty solid. Could be using Archeops, accelerate both in one go, and then if you get hit, draw 2 cards. Got some treasure energy as well, so if you take this as one of your prize cards, you can just attach it right to one of your Pokemon. So, getting some more energy acceleration, and the fact that we can accelerate this from the deck with the Archeops, it's a very, very, very good combo here. Got some Sun Currents, so we can evolve up into the Sunflora. Looks like 3 copies. And then 2 extra copies of the Sunflora. So that would be our main attacker line. And then we can use the Archeops as a secondary attacker. Has 150 HP, does 120, and can accelerate energy. Really good. Clara, we can grab 2 energies, basics energies though, from our discard, and up to 2 basic Pokemon. Or not basic Pokemon, up to 2 Pokemon. So you can get your Sunfloras back that way if you'd like. Actually a pretty solid looking kit. Gloria. You can search your deck for 3 basic non-rule box Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Escape Rope, bit of Gust and switching. We don't really see that in pre-release. Copycat. You get to ask your opponent how many cards they have in their hand, shuffle your hand into your deck, and draw as many cards as they have. So if you can see your opponent's sitting on a pretty bulky hand of like 7 or 8 cards, which they might be since one of the promos is Curlia that lets you draw 2 cards for discarding a card. Oftentimes they'll be sitting on 7 or 8 cards, and we could be using this to draw into that as well. 1 copy of Wallace, so you get to draw 3 cards. Offer to your opponent if they'd like to draw a card. If they say yes, you get to draw an additional card. Cynthia's Ambition. If one of our Pokemon's been knocked out on the previous turn, draw until you have 8 cards in your hand. If that didn't happen though, just draw until you have 5 cards. Raihan. If one of your Pokemon's knocked out, you can accelerate an energy from the discard pile to one of your Pokemon and then search your deck for any card. This kit's kind of nuts. And a V-Star energy. That's probably one of the most consistent pre-release kits I've seen. It had Gust, it had Switch, it had multiple forms of energy acceleration. Wow, and we haven't even cracked into our packs. So if you get the Sunflora promo, I think you're in for a pretty good time at pre-release. Okay, and for our first booster pack here, we've got a Wilmer. We've got a Rocklet. Fennekin, that's really cool art. Durant, please tell me it's not more mill. What does he do? Energy Digging. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Okay, that could actually go really good with the Sunflora, since we need energy in hand to be able to do the 210 damage. An Emolga, it's got Free Retreat. Oh, other side of the card there. Very powerful card to have in pre-release. Being able to have just a pivoting option, so if you're not sure if you can get into another attacker on the following turn, is really helpful. Also has the attack Lucky Find. Search your deck for any item card or trainer card. Item card, reveal it and put it into your hand. Can be pretty helpful. You don't usually get a lot of item cards though, so it's kind of dependent on your kit if you've gotten enough to justify having it in the deck. That's a hit. We've got Radiant Alakazam. Wow. So it has the ability Painful Spoons. Pretty solid ability name. Once during your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. And has the attack Mind Ruler, which does 20 damage 20 times. This attack does 20 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. Interesting. I feel like we've seen a similar card in that. Alakazam V or something. And in Regidrago Vstar. Wow. Alright, that's a hit. So it has the first attack for 2 grass and a fire energy. Or Apex Dragon. Choose an attack from one of your dragon Pokemon in your discard pile, and you get to use it as this attack. There's a lot of Dragon Box decks that are going to be coming out of this, so similar to like Mewtwo and Mew GX that used to be a thing. This is essentially going to take their place. You can charge it up with things like Gardenia's Vigor, being able to attach the 2 grass energy and manually attach a fire energy. Probably be a couple other more favorable options to do it, but that's definitely one way to get it going. And the ability Legacy Star. During your turn, you can discard the top 7 cards of your deck, then put 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. So a little bit risky, but if you know there's 2 very crucial cards in your discard pile that you want back, you can be using this to get them back. Metal Energy, the Dedenne. So it's got Tail Smack 10 damage and Dede Short, which does 60 damage. You can use this attack only if one of your Togedemaru used Togedash during your last turn. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So there's kind of like a funky mouse box you can put together with these. Got Quad Stone. So you can use 4 Quad Stones at once. If you use 1, heal 10. If you use 4, heal all damage from each of your Pokemon. That's pretty cool. Needing 4 of them though in your hand sounds a little bit clunky. Like I could see it working with Inteleon and Drizzles, just being able to grab those pieces, but if you discard 1, then it's essentially this set's useless. And we've got the Morpeko, which I'm pretty sure this combos with the Dedenne, has Pico Blaster for 1 lightning energy. You can use this attack only if your Dedenne used Dede Short during your last turn. This attack does 60 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So a bit of spread. If you get all of the guys that kind of chain these attacks together in pre-release, I could see it doing a lot of damage, doing 60 to everything. kind of nuts if there's some Curlias, or not Curlias, Ralts sitting on your opponent's bench. Take some easy knockouts. All right, next pack we've got the Regidrago. Maybe he's in here. Already got a Regidrago Vstar, so that was a pretty nice surprise. All right, what's the trick for these? Is it back 3? Back 4. Back 4, we get the energy out. Got water energy, a Braixen, Lopunny, Serena, very solid card. So you get to choose one of the effects of this card. Discard 3 cards from your, up to 3 cards from your hand. If you do, draw cards till you have 5 cards in your hand, so it helps you get out of a kind of bricked hand. And the secondary option is switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon V with their active Pokemon. So effectively like a boss's orders, only targeting V Pokemon though. So once we see EXs start to be more commonplace when Scarlet and Violet come out, this won't necessarily be the best. But right now with so many Crobats and Luminions sitting on benches where it's like, hey, like I could try and kill this Gudra that has 280 HP and taking 80 less damage, or I could just gust up that other thing. It's a very good option, and the fact that it can be draw support or gust, it makes it a bit of an easier choice, because there's so many times where it's like, well, I'd like to have 3 boss, but I want to have 4 research or 4 Marnie, and now it's like, well, what if you just have 3 of this and 3 of the other thing? It makes numbers pretty nice. We've got Noibat, a Togedemaru, so it looks like we're getting the mouse chain out of these packs. Togedash does 10 damage, flip a coin. If heads during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon's knocked out, your opponent can't take any prize cards for it. So you're just buying some time to set up into the other attackers. Got Sandile, Swirlix, Marini, a reverse Amoonguss, Surprise Spores during your opponent's next turn, or during your opponent's turn. If this Pokemon is discarded from your hand by an effect of an attacker ability from your opponent's Pokemon or by an effect of your opponent's item or supporter cards, discard your opponent's hand. Okay, that's kind of cool. And Virizion, so 4 is 1, does 20 damage. If Cobalion, Terrakion, and what's the other guy's name, Keldeo, are on your bench, it does 70 more damage, so 90 damage for 1 colorless energy. Pretty cool. You do need to have every single one of those guys though, so I can't see it really coming up in pre-release unless you get very lucky with your pulls, or if the store that you go to allows trading, maybe you get it that way. Next pack we've got up has the Regidrago. Also, it does seem like with the pre-release kits, they're giving you 1 of each of the booster pack arts, which is kind of nice. You'll get a Regidrago, Regieleki, a Vulpix, and a Lugia, typically. Alright, and let's do that energy trick again. Maybe we get fire? Ah, dark, okay. Worker, so draw 3 cards, discard a stadium card in play. Pretty cool. Similar to things like Avery that give you some straight draw and a little bit of like tech ability, could be very helpful. Got another Sunflora, so if we were putting this deck together for a pre-release, definitely check that in as a 4th attacker. Got Primordial Altar, so once during your turn, yours or your opponent's, you can look at the top card of your deck and choose to discard that card. Kind of cool. Helps you thin through the deck. Another Togedemaru, a Petalil, Pikachu, Growlithe. Oh, I didn't realize we have an Arcanine in this set then. We've got 2 Arcanines, because there's a Hisuian Arcanine V. Snorunt and Metagross. That's pretty cool. Emergency entry. Once during your turn, if you drew this Pokemon from your deck at the beginning of your turn and your bench isn't full, before you put it into your hand, you can put it onto your bench and draw 3 cards. I like that we're getting a couple things like that. I feel like we've got a Beedrill that did the same. We've got top entry Lampent and Luxio. And now we've got a Metagross. Has the attack Meteor Mash, does 100 damage for a steel and a colorless, and during your next turn, your Meteor Mash does 100 more damage. So pretty solid. I could see that becoming a thing in like GLC. And 4th pack with the Vulpix on the art. Alright, and we'll do the pack trick again. Grass. Maybe we get another Sunflora in here. Golbat. Another Ferrosoda Girl. A Dawn Fan? Oh, it's a Donphan. Overspin, 110. If this Pokemon evolved during this turn, this attack does nothing. Not great. Ponyta, a Venonat, Ralts, Spinda. That's fun. Dizzying Spin. This attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Bit of spread. That's pretty handy. Pikachu, especially with that Morpeko we have that could be doing 60 to everything. And a Cobalion, so might actually be getting that Virizion set up. Actually, well, not from this kit. This is our last pack. Has Justified Law. Your basic Pokemon's attack do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Dark Pokemon, and follow up does 30 damage. Choose 2 of your bench Pokemon. Search your deck, grab basic energies, and attach 1 to each of them. So pretty solid. Just early game attacker. Needing to put 2 energies onto it though, it's a little bit clunky, but it can accelerate energy out, which is always really handy, especially in pre-release. We did get the Archeops though, which is going to be able to accelerate energy anyway, so not sure if we would end up running it, but might be worth a go. All right, on to the next kit here. See if I can get into this one a little bit easier. Grab the keys. Makes it feel like I'm at the event again. Wish they had like a little tab on these things, but I feel like it would be probably a bit of a process trying to get that on there. Also, nice thing about these pre-release kits, you essentially get a deck box with them, and it's got pretty stylish artwork. All right, promo do you think we're gonna get this time? I'm hoping for the Archeops. It's another Sunflora. All right. Find that little tab on here. This one though, with the actual like trainer kit, there is a tab. It's usually just a bit funky to find it. Here we go. Yeah, so it'll just rip right around. It'd be nice if they had it on the soft plastic on the whole box. And let's see what's in this kit. Like we've got the Sunflora, Psychic Energy. Maybe we're getting Carlia. Okay. Treasure Energy again. Another Raihan. Fog Crystal. Search your deck for a basic Psychic Energy or Pokemon. Some more Psychic Energies. Yeah, this is definitely giving me Curlia vibes. There we go. We got Ralts. 2, 3. How many Curlias are we getting? 2 Curlias. So Curlia has the ability Refinement. You get to discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2 more cards. So similar to Trade that we've seen on Chinchino and Liepard. And it evolves into Gardevoir, which also has the Refinement ability. Discard a card from your hand, draw 2 cards. Is kind of cool that you can use the Curlia, draw 2, and then evolve into the Gardevoir and do it again. Like it's similar to how you can scoop up Net Drizzles and repeat them onto different Sobbles, but this one can just be done off of itself. So if you're struggling for some draw, it's a really good way to get into it. Got Capturing Aroma. You flip a coin. If it's heads, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, and if it's tails, search your deck for a basic Pokemon. So kind of like Pokeball, except it's not going to fail. It just, depending on the outcome, you're going to be getting a different stage of a Pokemon. Another Fog Crystal. Another Wallace. Some Sunkerns. Such a little happy Sunflower Seed. Some Sunfloras. Another Clara. Gloria, Escape Rope, Cynthia, Arazu. You get to search your deck for 3 evolution Pokemon and put them into your hand. It's a very consistent kit again. And another Raihan. We got 2 Raihans out of this kit. Kinda nuts. Alright, well, 2 Sunfloras. And yeah, it's definitely seeming like Sunflora is a very strong kit to get. So any of you that pull it at your pre-release, good luck, kick some ass. Got the Regidrago pack here. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Lightning Energy, how do you even say that name? Duocean. And I'll be honest, at the pre-release I was at today, I didn't realize Runiclus, or whatever the next evolution of this, was a stage 2 guy. I thought there was the littlest blob and the biggest blob, and didn't have this one in my deck. wasted 3 deck spots because, yeah. Don't make that mistake. It is a stage 2. Got another Donphan, a Dragonair, Fanfi, Feebas, Dratini, Wilmer, that Clink, a Reverse Milotic, and a Keldeo. Ooh. Almost seen all those Sword of Justice Pokemon now. Next up, we've got the Regidrago pack. V-Star marker. Got Stonejourner, Araquanid. I love this guy. He's such a cool design. Emergency Jelly. If you pull this in a kit, use it. If your Pokemon has 30 HP remaining or less at the end of any turn, so yours or your opponent's, heal 120 off that Pokemon. So in pre-release with Archeops and Gardevoir, they've got 150 health. They're doing 120 damage, so if you're seeing mirror matches of that, they hit you for 120, you have 30 remaining, you just fully heal it off, and then you swing back into them. It's pretty solid combo. Got Soleus, Krogunk, Ralts, Spinark, Drowsy. Hey, that's pretty sick. Trainer Gallery breaks in. Has Combustion for 30 damage and Flare Parade, which does 60 damage for each Serena card in your discard pile. So getting capped at 240, but for a double colorless on a single prizer, pretty solid. And a Talonflame. I actually really like that. I feel like we'll make a deck with that. We'll figure a way to make it work. Because you could use it with the Rapidash, discard a Fire Energy, you do 30 more, puts you at 270, attach Choice Belt, you're at 300. Yeah, that's a deck. That's definitely a deck. And like, you can use Magma Basin to charge it up. You don't even need to be using like Twin or DTE. Got Grass Energy. Claydol has Mysterious Charge. You can use this ability if you have no supporter cards in your discard pile. Once during your turn, you can attach a Fighting Energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon, or to one of your Pokemon. That's kind of cool. I like that. Ninetales has Hypnotic Gaze for colorless energy. Your opponent's active Pokemon is asleep, and the second attack, Scorching Breath, does 120 damage. During your next turn, though, this guy can't use that attack. Combos really nicely in pre-release with the Rapidash. If you get that promo, Rapidash, you can discard a Fire Energy, you do 30 more damage. This does 120, puts it up to 150. And you can be one-shotting those stage 2 Pokemon running around like Gardevoir and Archeops you've seen before. Wailord, what a beast. 200 HP, jumbo size. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. So effectively 230 HP, 260 if they're having to hit it twice. And has Special Wave, 120 damage. If there's a special energy attached to this Pokemon, does 120 more. Definitely a GLC card right there, if I've ever seen one. Emolga again. Durant. Fennekin. Rufflet. Litten. That's a solid artwork. I like that. It reminds me of Leo. Chimcho. And Regidrago V. Alright, we're at a 1-1 line now. That's pretty sick. Has Celestial Roar. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If any of those cards are energy cards, attach them to this Pokemon. And Dragon Lair. Not Dragon Lair, Dragon Laser. Got it confused with a card shop. 2 grass and a Fire Energy. This attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Kind of nice. Helps set up some numbers. Also very nice hitting that card. And the final pack's got the Lugia. Still haven't seen Lugia. Nobody pulled one at the event today. Saw some Omastars and some Vulpix. Didn't see Regidrago either. Let's see, Palossand, Leafy Camo Poncho. What a great name. So whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that done to your Pokemon VMAX and V-Star. So it's a good way to stop being gusted up with Boss. That's really cool. Relicanth, Sandygast, Fungus, Eldum, Zubat, Reverse Metang, and Zygarde. Ooh, that's a neat one. Shout of Power for 1 grass energy. Attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. and speed attack, which is just grass fighting, do 70. Okay, that's cool. I feel like we haven't got a Zai card in a while. That's good. They're showing him some love still. All right, third kit. Gonna go right for the keys this time. No fumbling around. Also, I might have noticed the keys are green. Got my new place this weekend. We popped over and did a little bit of cleaning this afternoon, so I might be taking a bit of a hiatus from videos while we move in, but the office will be getting a little bit different in the coming videos. All right. What promo are we getting? Archops? Oh, Rapidash. Actually, that's pretty sick. So Rapidash has the ability, well, we'll take off the plastic, be a little bit easier for you guys to see that. If we can find that tab. Well, I don't think that's the tab, but it's open. Not the most elegant at opening cards, if you haven't noticed. Alright, so Rapidash has the ability Heat Boost. Once during your turn, you can discard a fire energy from your hand. Your fire Pokemon do 30 more damage, and then it also has Fire Main, which does 60 damage for a fire and a colorless. So can be discarding doing 90 damage itself, but I'm thinking you're going to be using the Ninetales or different fire attackers, especially with the amount of energy we're getting in here. Wow. Fire and Lightning, that's a cool combo. All right, we got the Ponyta, another Rapidash, some Rotoms for some more draw support, Zeraora again, unidentified fossil, that's different. Okay, so we're getting this with the Archops. Are we not getting a Ninetales in this kit? Shauna, draw 5. Barasota Girl again, some more lucky energies. Okay, Rapidash Archops isn't great. There we go. So Ninetales. You can put your opponent to sleep with the first attack and do 120 damage with the secondary attack. Also, you'll notice it does have a 1 retreat cost. So if this stays alive, you can't use the second attack 2 turns in a row, but you could retreat into a secondary Ninetales and just be bouncing back and forth, especially if you get something like Magma Basin in your kit where you can be accelerating the energy from the discard to the Pokemon. Got the Vulpix. Professor's Research. Copycat. Magma Basin. Just talking about that. Zizu. So ask your opponent how many cards they have in their hand, and then you draw cards until you have as many as them, and then 1 more. So kind of like, hey, that's nice. I'll take what you're having, and just a little bit extra. On Ultra Ball, so discard 2 cards from your hand, search your deck for any Pokemon. Very solid card. Be careful what you're discarding though. Don't really want to be discarding things like supporter cards since we don't really have a way to get things back from the discard pile. Right, Regidrago. Fire Energy? Psychic, which I am not. The Braixen, another Dene, another Primordial Altar, Venonat, Ralts, Spinda, Pikachu, Noibat. I was wondering when this was going to get released. Okay, so we finally got the Trainer Gallery Malamar, the Rapid Strike one. For 1 Psychic Energy, reveal as many Rapid Strike cards from your hand as you would like, and it does 40 damage for each one that you revealed in this way. Very fun budget deck. Really good time. Since V-Stars have become a thing though, it's not quite as good, because before when you had V-Maxes and you'd be able to one-shot them with this, take 3 prizes, it was great. You would take a little bit longer to kind of get things set up, but then it would swing back in your favor. Now with V-Stars though, they have pretty much as much HP as the V-Maxes, but they give up 1 less prize, and they're setting up very consistently. It's kind of just fallen off the map. Really fun deck though, so if you used to play Malamar and you're a bit sad the squids aren't quite as good as they used to be, let me know in the comments below, because I'm feeling your pain, man. It's a great deck. And Frostlass has the attack Frosty Jail. What a great name. 20 damage. If you played Candace from your hand during this turn, it does 90 more damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So 110 and paralyze your opponent for 1 energy. Actually sounds pretty solid. Got the Regidrago pack. Maybe we get another one. Wouldn't mind seeing the Alt Art. I feel like most people wouldn't. One time I don't say it. Dracloak, Fletchinder, Altaria. What's he do? Double colorless magical echo. Move all damage counters from one of your bench Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's kind of cool. So if you've got guys that can tank hits and then just bounce all the energy back. Feebas, Fennekin, Spinark, Beldum, Reverse Metagross, and Zygarde. Also, I don't know about you guys, if you play Gym Leader Challenge, for my steel decks, I just like everything to be reverse. Got the Vulpix pack. It just feels like kind of on brand for that deck. You want everything to be nice and shiny. Plus, it's like budget bling. Reverses aren't that much more. Like an 8-cent card becomes a 12-cent card. Fighting Energy. The Slurpuff. Capturing Aroma. More Peko. I actually really like the idea of that card. Snorunt. Because like Ultra Ball is great and all, but effectively you're using 3 cards to use Ultra Ball. Noivern. Double colorless, knock out one of your opponent's Radiant Pokemon. A very specific attack. 7th Echo, 1 Psychic and a Dark, does 70 damage. Draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand. That's a really cool attack. But yeah, on the topic of what I was saying before, Ultra Ball, you're effectively using that card, discarding 2 cards. It's guaranteeing you anything from the deck though, which is really nice. Capturing Aroma, it's a coin flip, so obviously not nearly as consistent, but it's only 1 card. So, might be a bit of an argument there. Not a great one, but it's definitely something to consider. And then Runiculus. This is the one that, yeah, I definitely misunderstood earlier. I thought this guy was the littlest guy, but there's just a blob that turns into a slightly different shaped blob and then turns into a blob with hands. If that's anyone's favorite Pokemon, no judgment. Sorry, I did not know he was a stage 2. And the Lugia. All right, we've got Lightning Energy, Araquanid, Unidentified Fossil, Lantern, Rotom. Actually, getting another unidentified fossil when we've got the Archeops is pretty sweet. That Dreepy, that's a really cool art. He's like chilling in a tree stump in the snow. Kind of funky. Phanpy, Fletchinder, Reversed Lantern, and a Hisuian Lilligant. Has Swelling Scent for no energy. Search your deck for up to 2 grass energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck and Spiral Kick 2 colorless for 50. Kinda neat. I could see that being played in something. And the 4th and final kit. Hope we don't get another Sunflora. Nothing against him. He definitely seems like the best kit. It's a stage 1. Sets up consistently. Hits 210, which is going to be taking out, well, everything in the pre-release format. If someone gets a V-Star, it's not going to get them, but typically people just get Vs. You're not very likely to get a V and the exact V-Star for it in the same kit. So, Sunflora could kills a V. Another Rapidash. Nice. We're finding this tab. There we go. It's like a little color indicator or something. Alright, Rapidash. Bunch of fire energy. Oh wow, a bunch of fire energy. Okay, there we go. There's some things that are not fire energy. Got our Ponyta's. Rapidash. Rapidash Sunflora. Ooh, that's spicy. Clara? Floria? Escape Rope? Yeah, okay, if Sunflora gets like just those cards by default, nuts. Some Ninetales. Professor's Research. Wallace. Cynthia. Basin. Zizu. Ultra Ball. Raihan. Yeah, Sunflora is the best kit. Just gonna come out right and say it. We've got the Vulpix pack. Like Archeops is really cool, but the fact that it's set up into a stage 2, you can accelerate special energy from the deck. If you're not finding the pieces to evolve, it makes it really difficult, whereas Sunflora, you need one piece to evolve it. And then you also need the special energy in your deck. So if you've drawn into them already, you can't accelerate them out. We've got Torracat, has Gritty Claws, 40 damage during your opponent's next turn. If this Pokemon has full HP and would be knocked out by damage, it survives with 10. And Combustion, 70 damage for 3 fire energy. It's really cool because there is an Incineroar that has an attack, essentially like Recall, that we used to have on Empoleon, where you can use the pre-evolutions attack. So you could be using this, go down to 10 HP. And then I think the Litten has an attack where it's like, does it 20 damage or 30 damage for each damage counter on it. So Incineroar, 160, 170 HP, goes down to 10 and then just swings back like a truck. Got Raichu, has Ambushing Spark, does 40 damage. If your opponents already use their V-Star power during this game, it does 100 more damage, so 140. Palkia V-Star has 280 HP. It one-shots it. Only there was some sort of single prize toolbox deck that wanted weakness cards for everything and really wanted to replace Electrode because Electrode knocks itself out. Zoroark. Yeah. That'll be a deck coming soon. Wailord, Spinda, Feebas, Noibat, Snorunt, Sandile, Anorith, Anorith, Pokemon. And Hisuian Braviary has Eerie Cry for 0 energy, put 3 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. It's pretty cool. And Mind Bend, which does 80 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. Eerie Cry is kind of cool. Does kind of suck though that it's damage counters, so you can't be boosting up the damage using Telescopic Lens, because that's just specifically damage, whereas damage counters is seen as an effect. But interesting attack. Got the Lugia pack. Psychic Energy, Stonejourner, Araquanid, another Emergency Jelly, very good card for pre-release, Vulpix, Molga, Chimechoop, Bunnelby, Drowsy, Reverse Matang for that GLC Spice, Amoonguss, nice. Got the Regilecky pack. Next time I do one of these, maybe I'll just get some scissors. Alright, Fire Energy. Every time I don't call it is when it's there. Toxicroak, Dragonair, Palossand, Ferroseed, another Pikachu, Ponyta, Venonat, Dupiter, Reverse Wailord. Actually, on Dupiter, I don't know if you guys watched the Pokemon anime. I think it was in Sun and Moon? Maybe it was the new one, Journeys, but there's like an episode about Dupiter, and it's kind of done in like Oh, what's his name? The dude that does all the documentaries. Oh, it's gonna bug me. That's really gonna bug me. But yeah, they kind of do it like him, going around and just following it in like a day of a life, like similar like Planet Earth. Oh, it's really gonna bug me. Reverse Wailord? I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna put his name on the screen. David Attenborough. It's like a David Attenborough Jupiter episode. There we go. Remembered him. And Frostlass again with the Candace combo. Lugia pack. And yeah, this looks like our last pack. If you've stuck around to the end, let me know. Maybe we do a cheeky little giveaway for everyone that's in here right to the end. Let me know the name of the person that makes the documentaries that I forgot their name. Just mention them in the comments. Just subtly do it. Don't outright just say David Attenborough, or else everyone will see it and be like, wow, someone else said this, I'm gonna post this. Sneakily just come up with a sentence that you just weave it in there, and maybe I'll send you a pack or two of the new Silver Tempest set. Just for the guys that are still hanging around till the end though. It's our secret, okay? Got Steel Energy, Sigelgip, Braixen. What is going on in that artwork? That is kind of epic. Behem. Psychic Spear, 30 damage, and then Psychic Arrow. This attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Also apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. That's pretty cool. Okay. Spinark, Beldum, Progunk. I feel like that Behem is how you make Unknown V-Star work. You make them weak to Psychic, and then you just snipe them off the bench. Golbat and the Terrakion. Is he seriously the hollow one? All the other ones were just regular rares. What's so special about Terrakion? Cavern Tackle, 120 damage. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon. If one of your Pokemon used Cavern Tackle during your last turn, this attack can't be used. Not justified being a hollow card. Logic. Cool card though. The art is gorgeous. The attack, it's an attack. Thanks very much everyone for popping by for these pack openings and pre-release kit openings. If you are checking out a pre-release event, good luck guys. Make sure to have fun. If you need some advice, I did post a video a few days ago. Check it out. It's got a couple of tips to help you with deck building. Let me know what kind of promo card you're chasing as well. I know I went into it wanting Archeops, and now after opening these and seeing the kits, Sunflora definitely seems like the way to go. It's a deadly little flower. Kind of reminds me of that boss in Cuphead. If you enjoyed this though, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe so you know I've got shenanigans like deck lists coming out. Don't really do pack openings too often, so if you do like this, let me know in the comments and maybe it's something we look into doing more of in the future. Till next time though, take care.